How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek, and yes, I did forget to press the intro video. Never mind. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you very much for joining us. I'm thinking this is going to be my regular slot time, 8 p.m. on a Sunday night. So please let us know if that works for you guys, or if it doesn't. I'll be interested to know your thoughts. So, lots to get through tonight. Got a whole host of stuff to try and cover. Lots of books to show you, lots of comics to show you. I know I'm going to get a lot of grief from certainly Wayne if he's in the chat, but I'm going to show you some celebrity signatures I've got as well, which I suspect are 90 to 100% bollocks. So yeah, we'll have a look at those and in a bit. Let's excuse me, let's just jump in the chat and see who is here. We've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Happy Sunday, Mother Fraggers. It's time for the big bastitch. Thank you very much, Fuzzy. Thank you very much. But yeah, and Fuzzy, yeah, we're gonna talk about that book in a little while, because yeah. And we've got Phil. Nice to see you, Phil. Just start now. The important ones are here. Me and Fuzzy. Absolutely. We've got Touche, Phil. Chris, greetings and salutations. And a happy birthday to you, Chris. Happy 60th, I believe. Very pleased for you, mate. I hope you had a nice day. Apologies, didn't realize it was your birthday last time. I would have sent you a card. But happy birthday, pal. Hope you had a good day. Nice, like I say, 60th. It's one to remember and celebrate. Speaking of 60th, Terry, do you remember that? 20, 30 years ago, maybe? Hi, important ones. Oh, and hi, Pete. Terry, I hope things are okay at home, pal. I know you've had a rough week, so I hope things are on the mend and things are looking up. We've got Luke. Nice to see you, Luke. Good to see you, my friend. And we've got Wayne. Hello, you sexy ginger hero worshippers. The king is here. Wayne. Nice. Thank you, Wayne. Always good to see you, pal. Happy birthday to the pride of Teesside, beautiful Chris Bell. We've got Ash. Nice to see you, pal. Evening all. Hi, Chris Bell. Do a quick shit drop. Wow, Wayne. Fighting talk, Wayne. Fighting. Cheers, Fuzzy. Can't believe Chris is 80-year-old today. Happy birthday, Chris. Neither can you. Neither can your ma. Thanks, Terry. Was Air 15 ever available on newsstands in Newcastle, or were the few pence copies sent via boat to the British Isles saved for larger cities like Birmingham? No, pal. They covered the entire length and breadth of the UK. Not that I'm old enough to have picked one off the shelf, but my father absolutely did. He recanted the story before he passed away many a time of how he used to buy comic books from the newsstand and then let people in his school class borrow them for a small charge. And AF-15 was indeed a book he had, as was First Appearance of X-Men and all the rest of it. We've got Andy in the chat. Nice to see you, Andy. Andy's been working incredibly hard on a website for me, so thank you for that, Andy. We're going to unveil that shortly, probably on Tuesday night, but it's looking spectacular. All down to Andy. Thank you, Peter. Things are better. Good stuff. Pleased to hear it, Terry. Pleased to hear it. Wayne, good to hear, Terry. Okay, guys, we've got loads to get through tonight, so let's crack straight on. Lots of comic books to talk about. If you've not seen this show before, this is me one-man show where I show you some stuff I've recently been picking up. We talk about all of the last week's worth of issue number ones, and then yeah, there was some interesting ones. We talk a little bit about toys and things, and I show you off some books from my collection. As I said, tonight I'm going to also show you some celebrity signatures, and I'm going to let you decide whether they are shite or not. I suspect they're shite. Anyway, we'll start off with a bit of show off, and the man himself is in the chat, but I did want to show off this. Quite often, I am very, very lucky and very blessed to have friends that I've formed and made on good old YouTube. And quite often I receive lovely little packages in the post. And the other day was one such day where Andy, Perpetual Comics, who is a cracking artist, an absolutely cracking artist, sent me a little sketch. And this is the Prime of the North. So if you don't know, in the Northeast at Gateshead, we have something called the Angel of the North, which is a huge kind of statue thing on a hillside as you drive into Gateshead area. And Andy's drawn a version of a Transformer version of that for us. I absolutely love this. It looks stunning. We've got the time bridge behind it there. It's just spot on. So thank you so much for this, Andy. I'm going to stick it in the frame and I'll pop it up somewhere in me man cave if I can find a bit of space on one of the walls. But yeah, absolute beauty. Can't speak tonight. My words aren't working. Absolute beauty. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Andy. I have been buying a few little bits and bobs. You know my fetish, shall we say, for old UK A4 size comic books, the ones that you used to get in the newsagents in the UK, and particularly the ones with free gifts. So I had this as a kid. I've wanted it for a long time. This is from 1983. I have to say it is in absolutely phenomenal condition for a 1983 comic book of this standard. And this is The Mighty Thor, issue number 1, with free spinner. Yeah, there you go. Free spinner, which I presume is a boomerang kind of malarkey. You don't know. But yeah, this is The Mighty Thor, issue number 1, with the free gift still sellotaped to the cover. Some stunning Kirby artwork on the front there. This was 25 pence back in the day. Yeah, April 20th, 1983. It reprints some classic Thor comic books, albeit with some very odd colouring. Don't know what's going on with the record there. Don't know why one panel's bright green. Don't know why Thor's cape's green. Not sure what that's all about. But in typical UK fashion, this thing kind of varies from full colour pages to black and white pages, or sorry, red and white pages for some reason, just to save on the price, I guess, just to save on the price. Now, it has got with it this poster, which is absolutely amazing, of good old Thor and Spider-Man. Not so keen on the image of Thor there. That's definitely not Kirby. I'm not sure who the artist is on that. Lee, don't know who he is, but yeah. So yeah, I saw this one on good old eBay, knew I had to pick it up because, like I say, love me a UK copy of these big style comic books, particularly the ones with the free gifts. So yeah, over the moon to have that. Absolutely over the moon to have that. Let's just see what the chat is saying before I move on to one of the bigger items I've got through the post this week. Triple J OnlyFans website. I mean, if the people want it, Wayne, if the people want it, will you be watch pics be available on this website? They will, Phil. Yeah, you have to pay a special kind of fee for that one, and I believe you've now got to do some kind of age verification thing. But you can get through. You can get through. ABZ, nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing well. Selling gin. Oh, Wayne, animal, friends. We'll be giving a thank you in my next video on Tuesday to the nice people who left lovely messages. Some here tonight, so thank you. No problem at all, Terry. The community is cracking. Angel of the North Transformers is awesome. It absolutely is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Cool art. How much cooler would it be if it was really Prime of the North, though? Where was Andy when the idea was floated? I know. It looks, I mean, Chris, I'm sure you drove past it, mate. The real thing kind of looks like an aircraft downed itself nose first into the ground. It's a weird thing. Anyway, it puts what on the map. Could be converted. Yeah, we could change it. We could slap a bit of paint on it. Thank you very much, pal. I really do appreciate it. Really do. Well, we've got Connie. Hiya. Nice to see you, Connie. Hope you're doing well. That was one of the first comic books I ever bought with my paper on it. It's a beaut, ABC. It's an absolute beaut. I love it. I remember reading it back in the day. So when I saw it on good old eBay, I knew I had to get it. I was only 9 when that Thor came out. Yeah. It's in great nick. It's a stunning condition one, but absolutely, because normally these things, because it's literally like newspaper. Do you know what I mean? It's crap quality paper. We don't want it. You do, Fuzzy. Fuzzy, you've already got it, mate. You already got it. I randomly send you pictures of it on my toilet and stuff. Anyway, what's the biggest, most expensive book in your collection? So the biggest, most expensive item I've got is my X-Men #1 from 1963, I believe that is, which is quite a pricey item. I think I paid around about £5,000 for that one. That's the most expensive book I've got. It's not the most important book in my collection. The most important one is my Journey into Mystery 83, first appearance of 4, which isn't as pricey as the X-Men one, but means more to us in terms of books. Anyway, right, I wanted to talk a little bit about this because this came through the post. I know some of you guys in the chat have got this already. This is an absolutely phenomenal book. This is from Elliot, Lost Boy, over on Instagram, Lost Boy Comics. Elliot has done some amazing sketch covers for myself and a lot of members of the community, some of the guys in the chat tonight. And I've been very, very happy to try and support him over the last year or so by buying quite a few commissions of him, particularly horror-based ones. He does a lovely Thor one as well. He does phenomenal work, absolutely phenomenal work. And I think I'm going to talk about it a bit more on Tuesday night's show over on Panel Breakers. But we are very lucky in the UK to have some stunning artists who work for or have worked for some of the big key comic book publishers, and we'll talk about them in a little bit, but also some absolutely phenomenal artists who are trying to break into the business, as it were, or are doing self-published work. Elliot's one of those people. He's got his own clothing line. He's got a phenomenal self-published book, which is absolutely brilliant, called Hellbound. Well worth a read, which goes up on Kickstarter. I think we're on to volume 4 now, or 3 or 4. 4 it is. And then he's recently published this. So this is a hardback book of all of his work from the last year, Inks from the Crypt. Now, Fuzzy of the Dunlop, help us out in the chat. I think I paid, I want to say, around about £35 to £40 for this hardback, beautiful book. It was something along those lines. So it was absolutely, don't know why I stroked it there. So it was absolutely cheap as chips. Now, what Elliot did was, as well as containing all of his artwork in this book, he also did a sketch on the inside of this book for every backer, which is mental. Absolutely mental for the price we've paid. So I'll show you my sketch in a second, but first off, just to go through the book, it's set into different sections. He talks a little bit about his development of his art style. He does something called cross-hatching. Artists in the chat, tell us if I'm getting that wrong, which is basically like little lines. You might not be able to see it on Joker's brow there, but it's like crossed lines all the way through. And it just makes this really interesting style of artwork, I think. It's absolutely amazing. So he kind of started developing that over the last year. Look at that Michelle Pfeiffer, man. Dirty. So yeah, he started developing his artwork over the last year or so. It's amazing. And he's just got better and better and better, I think. So he does a whole host of stuff. Like I say, he does his own clothing line. This is the chap here. He does his own clothing line, which is very, very cool. But he also does his own comic book, Hellbound, which is what I've just mentioned, which you can get on Kickstarter. Well worth checking out. And then over the last year, he's really, really kind of delved into sketch covers. And he's done some absolute crackers for a lot of the guys in the chat and for members of the comic book community. His work is just absolutely stonking. Look at that Battle Beast. Absolutely stonking. He's incredibly, incredibly reasonably priced. I'm saying reasonably priced. He's not. He's cheap as chips. Cheap as chips. There's a stunning Mr. Freeze, which belongs to one of our chat members. Yeah, just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I'm gushing here, guys, because I really do want you to support local artists who are doing some amazing work for very, very cheap. That's they're both my pieces. He's done both of those for me. So please do consider checking out his book. Check him out on Instagram. Get a commission off him. You can't go wrong for the price this guy charges. Now, like I say, Fuzzy's just telling us in the chat there, £25 plus £10 postage for this book with a full sketch inside, which is just madness. Absolute bloody madness. So here's my sketch. I asked him for a surprise, and he did as that wolf, man. Look at that. Looks a bit like Chris Bell. Look at that. It's absolutely phenomenal. The detail on it, the work on it, just blows us away. Absolutely blows us away. So yeah, stunning book. Gushing about it. Cannot sing its praise enough, and cannot sing Elliot's praise enough. Please do go check it out. Now, it got us thinking, ladies and gents. It did get us thinking about what other art books I've got, and I don't know that I've shown you as many of them. So I do like to support artists as much as I can. This is a guy, Gustavo Vargas, who I met for the first time in Thorpe a couple of years ago. And I just spotted this on his table. This is Escape to the 80s, his little sketchbook. I liked this one in particular because it is literally his versions of characters that we know and love. So He-Man. And like I say, look, he signed it on the front there. Sorry, on the inside there. Lovely, lovely man. I've actually met him every year at Thought Bubble, and I get a commission off him, at least one commission off him every year I go now as well. Because again, you're looking at 30, 40 quid. It's ridiculous. His man-at-arms is phenomenal. So this little booklet he's done is all about 80s characters that he loves. So you've got your He-Man characters, you've got Thundercats. Look at that Lion-O, man. Look at that Lion-O. It's lush. Slive, you know, just amazing, amazing. Safari Joe does it again. Sorry, that's my Safari Joe, just in case you didn't know. Now look, Declan frickin' Shelby. That's Tigra. See that there? That's Tigra. That's what he's meant to look like. Not that shite you're putting in the current Thundercat books. That there is what Tigra is meant to look like. Dickhead. Anyway, so yeah, a whole host of other characters. It's an absolute beautiful little book. Really, really love that. Again, you can pick that up from his website. Last time I saw him at Thought Bubble, I picked up his third volume of his sketchbook. Again, this has got a lot of his creator-owned stuff in it. Some beautiful sketches from his comic books. Some creepy stuff in there as well. Again, just an amazing artist. An absolutely amazing artist. And a thoroughly, thoroughly nice guy. So yeah, please check that out. Another one I picked up this year is John Pearson's. Now, some of you will remember John Pearson. He's done some incredible books over the last year or two. Well, for a long time, but the ones I've certainly read over the last few years, things like In Bloom absolutely blew me away. This little book, again, comes with a remark inside, absolutely free of charge by the lovely man himself. He did this at Thought Bubble for us. That's one of his characters from a great little run of comics called The Infernals, about the kind of the son of the devil's family, which is a great little story. So yeah, he did that one for us. Inside, you've got loads of images of his painted style of artwork, which is again absolutely great. That's The Infernals there. Just beautiful, beautiful painted artwork. This guy's also done an awful lot of stuff for movie posters. So you get some of the imagery in here of that. Silent Night, Deadly Night, The Howling. Look at the Howling one. The Howling one is absolutely cracking. Love that. Now, this chap does commissions. And myself and James Keegan both picked up commissions from him a couple of years back. And my commission is in the book, as is James's. So mine is the Dracula, and James's is the Ash there. Now, interesting little thing about if you're getting commissioned artwork, ladies and gents, I didn't know this until a chap who we met with at Thought Bubble this year kind of pointed it out to us. If you get a sketch cover done by an artist, that's great. It's yours. It's a one of a kind, all that kind of stuff. If that artist then sticks it in his book or pops it in some other way, it becomes published artwork, which then gives it a bit of extra oomph, I guess, if you want to try and resell it. So because they've stuck these images in the book, it's now classed as a published piece of artwork, which again, like I say, it lends a bit of weight to it. Yeah, he signed my image of Dracula on the same page as well. So yeah, lovely, lovely man. Great book to get a hold of. Now, one of my favorite artists who I absolutely love meeting every time we go to a con, and I think is criminally undervalued. Again, a guy who does stunning commissions for peanuts, doesn't get enough recognition, I think, for the quality of his artwork, is a lovely, lovely chap called Ian Richardson, or Rico, as he's called in his art. Ian does amazing work, absolutely amazing work. If you're into kind of your superhero kind of stuff in particular, he does phenomenal stuff. Again, a chap I've had a number of commissions off. And again, just a stunning guy who does amazing work. This chap again does some absolutely amazing chuckling away there. Some absolutely amazing covers, some great characters that you will recognize. He does some stuff that you might not recognize as well. Amazing Nightwing there. Just brilliant. Absolutely. Wow, look at that Mumra, man. Look at that Mumra. Yeah. So again, another guy you can look at that. Look at that. Another guy you can find on Instagram, Ian Richardson Art. He's got 2 volumes of his books out, so please check them out. Now, he has technically retired, but if you drop him a line, he's quite open to doing commissions. He is a very busy man, though, so you won't get it the next day. It does take a little while, but he does phenomenal work for a phenomenal price, and you cannot go wrong. So worth checking him out. And if he's got time to do your sketch, I'm sure he will do. Yeah, just cracking. Just absolutely cracking. So, if you guys got any art books, it's not something I really went into picking up, really, but then I just started getting them and kind of fell in love with them. So let us know in the chat if you guys have got any art books. Got Jack in the chat. Nice to see you, Jack. Do you really think Journey Mystery 83 is more important than X-Men? I'd say X-Men are more of an A than 4. No, I didn't. That's not what I said, mate. For me, it's more important. That's because Thor is my favorite character. He's always been my favorite character. So I'm not saying in terms of value or in terms of importance of the book. For me personally, Thor is my all-time favorite character. He's on my logo. Do you know what I mean? So for me, that book has more sentimental value than anything else. Yeah, £25, £10 postage. Insane prices. Insane. Some of the best hatching I've ever seen for texture. It's incredible work. Absolutely, Chris. Couldn't agree more, pal. And we'll have to say, mind. I know Wayne has been giving him a bit of jip in the chat there. Have to say, Chris is doing some incredible work as well at the moment. If you check out his Instagram, he's doing a daily sketch, and some of them are, well, most of them are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, well worth checking out. Wowzers, the sketch is amazing. It's a beaut, an absolute beaut. Don't hold back, Peter. Never do when it comes to Declan Shelby, Phil. Yeah. Just had 2 t-shirts ordered with Ian's art he did for me. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. I know you've getting a few commissions from him, Terry. He's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Chris is an awesome artist. You kind of backtrack now, Wayne. You've done it, mate. You put him in a huff. You've huffed him. It's a shame as well, because he was telling us last night he was going to send you a sketch, but now cheated knowing about yourself. Hard to bear. Anyway, moving on, guys. So let's talk a little bit about comic books. We'll focus on the books that have been out this week. Before we do that, I'm going to wet my whistle. Nice. So this week's comics, if you've not seen the show before, what we do is we focus on the issue number 1s that have come out this week. Really interested in your thoughts as well. So as we're going through these books, please shout out and tell us if you've read them in the chat, what you thought of them, and if I've missed any, if there's only been any good issue number 1s that have been out this week that you would recommend. Let's start off with this. So this week we've had 3 DC Next Level issue number 1s. So this is kind of on the back of the latest big crossover event, DC KO. I kind of thought that these were like jumping on point books for people who aren't familiar with the characters and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd give all of them a go, see what I thought of them. And yeah, cack. So this is Lobo issue number 1. Now I have to say, I need to give a precursor to this, that Lobo has never been a character I've been particularly interested in. Not a character that's really ever appealed to us. I do like these kinds of characters sometimes, but I don't know. Lobo's just never jumped out at us. But I thought I would give this a go. Written by Scotty Young. Scotty's not done the art inside, but it's very similar to his kind of style. It's very, very I Hate Fairyland kind of thing. The story is basically Lobo goes to a bar to kill somebody. You get a whole host of kind of interactions and very, very forced humor. It turns out that the bounty he was going for has been cancelled. So he goes to find the people who are going to pay him the money that he's owed. Basically, it's a television company. And by the end of it, he's going to be a reality TV star. This didn't out for us. I have to be honest. I know there's loads of Lobo lovers out there. I didn't particularly like the character. I didn't like the writing of it. It just felt stupid. And I have to say, I really didn't like the art. The art just hurt my head. It just felt dirty, if that makes sense, and not in a good way. It just felt dirty, as in kind of stuff all over the place. And yeah, not for me. Not for me. Now, I'm sure I'm probably by myself on this. I'm sure lots of people loved this book. For me, yeah, for me, I just thought it was cack. I'm afraid to say. Didn't enjoy it at all. We'll then move on to Batwoman. Yeah. So I know very little about this version of Batwoman. I don't think I've read a lot of our books, but I did watch the CW TV show a good few years back. And this completely confused us because I started reading it. I didn't really understand what was happening. It felt very much like a companion piece to the TV series because I recognized the Alice character and the Kathy Kane character. I don't know if that's intentional or if that's part of the overarching story or what. Artwork was nice in terms of Batwoman. The story didn't out for us, I'm afraid to say. It's going to be a negative episode, ladies and gents. The story did nothing for us, didn't interest us really. We got some people at the end who basically said, oh, we're going to kill Batwoman, and she turns up with a massive machine to project a bat sign. Don't know why she's carrying that around with her, but she was. I wanted to like this, and please tell us if in the chat if I'm missing something. I really wanted to like this, but I just didn't. I thought it was pants, to be perfectly frank. So yeah, not for me. Then we get this. This is Deathstroke, the Terminator. Again, not a character I've read much of. Don't really know a great deal about Deathstroke. I think I know the basics. Mercenary, enhanced reflexes, all that kind of stuff. I'm familiar with these kids from the Titans run and all that kind of stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one was great fun. This was great fun. Lots of action. I enjoyed the art style. I thought the writing was good. It had a really interesting twist at the end, which I didn't see coming. So yeah, this, out of the 3 books, this is the only one I would consider reading on with. Lobo and Batwoman, nah, not going to bother. Deathstroke, yes, I will give this one another read. Thought the art style was brilliant. Really liked it. Okay, just before we carry on, guys, let's see who else is in the chat. We've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Ken. Hope you're doing well. Chris said he was going to send me sexy pictures of himself. I've got some of Chris I can send you. Rain is genuinely my temperature gauge. Didn't like the Lobo. Is Mother Fragger a Lobo thing? Yeah, or did you take it from I Hate Fairyland? Either way, it's shite. Absolutely, Phil. It felt to me like you could have Tip-X'd out Lobo and stuck Gertrude in there, and it would have been a very similar kind of thing. Yeah, just not for me. This was the weakest one for me. Thought the art was messy, tapping out at number 1. Yeah, I agree, Fuzzy. The artwork just didn't work for us. This is Lobo we're talking about. The artwork just didn't work for us. Not work for us, I have to say. As a big fan of Scotty, his writing is very hit or miss. This is the same team that gave us Ain't No Grave, the best writing Scotty Young has done, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. What was that other one Scotty Young did about? Was it a ghost in a house or something, and the artist fell in love with it? Was that Scotty Young? I've got a feeling that was Scotty Young, and it was an attempt at horror, but it didn't blow us away. Was it the Me You Love in the Dark? Something like that? Can't remember. Dirty. Ian, nice to see you, pal. Couldn't even finish Batwoman. Art was hurting my eyes. Yeah, I quite liked. Did I like the art? I liked the imagery of Batwoman. Everything else was cack, but I liked the imagery of Batwoman. I thought whoever drew it drew a nice, sexy Batwoman. Not a great start for next level. Deathstroke was okay. Yeah, I would agree, Phil. This is not a good jumping on launch point for a new set of books, I'm afraid to say. Really enjoyed this. Definitely reading on. I think it will end up being the best of the 3 books story-wise. Danny art isn't great. Yeah, I think you're right, Fuzzy, in terms of this being the best of the 3, without doubt so far. Love Deathstroke. Defo reading on. Alice's character was in the first Batwoman series. I couldn't be bothered with either series. The Batwoman TV series, they totally rewrote her origin. Almost not the same person. All right, Terry, that explains it then. That explains it. I mean, I'm familiar with the Batwoman TV show, but I think I lost it at the 2nd season or something like that. Yeah. Remind me to read my books before Pete shits on them. Oh, here we go. Here we go, as you says. So yeah, not a fan of this big relaunch, although I do like the Deathstroke one. That was pretty cool. We've then got this. This is Pickup from AWA. This is a one-shot. This was an interesting little read. Basic synopsis for this is basically this guy's like a media influencer. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he's got this thing called Upgrade. So he teaches men to how to date properly. And basically, this book is a murder mystery. So whilst he's filming here, as you see him filming, he records something in the background he's not meant to, which sets in line a kind of a series of events, which ends up with some shenanigans at the end. This was okay, but that's about as good as I can go with it. Okay. It's nothing new. I thought at first it was going to be more interesting, because I've very much in my mind at the moment got the whole manosphere thing, because I watched that Louis Theroux thing, and I thought that was the basic kind of synopsis of what we're going to get here, and would do to an extent, just not particularly interestingly. But it's an all right read. It's not going to set your world on fire, but as a one shot, it's not bad. Really enjoyed this. This is Dead Ringers. Now, I started reading this and I thought, oh, this is going to just be a bit dull. So basically, this is a group of teenagers who are caught in a time loop, and they've been reliving the prom night every night for however long. And each time something horrific happens and they all get bumped off, apart from one individual. So you kind of, the start of the book gets you going through all of these different scenarios where they're in a car crash, or they're attacked by a giant lizard, or something happens and the school sets on fire, or whatever, with a reset each time, which is interesting and entertaining, watching them die in different ways. But I did think, oh, this feels very familiar to a lot of movies I've seen. But then we get halfway through this introduction of this kind of cloaked character leaning over them. And the cloaked character kind of becomes more and more prevalent. And by the end of this issue, there's a big twist that I just didn't see coming. Just didn't see coming at all. Which has really got us interested. So yeah, I definitely will be reading on with this one. This was one of the better books I read this week. Interesting story as well. So yeah, I would definitely read. And the artwork was pretty cool. So yeah, recommend reading on with that one. Wowzers. Thundercats Silverhawks Road to War. This is by Dynamite. This had around about 25 covers, including a blind bag, which I didn't buy. 25 covers. And I've realized that Dynamite have got a very astute marketing department. So we've basically got this Thundercats Silverhawks crossover coming up, which is happening at some point in the future, which has been announced and talked about for ages. But what Dynamite seem to have done is repackage all of the leading up to this series and call it an issue 1 every week. So you get kind of, was it the Lost in Time a week or so ago, which was a #1 blind bag? You've now got Road to War, which is a #1, which is a blind bag. It's all the same stuff. This is really just part of the series, but I think they've clocked that if they call it issue 1, stick it in a blind bag, idiots like me are going to buy it. The story itself didn't do a great deal for us. The Thundercat story at the start is basically going back in time and telling the story of how Lionel learns the lesson of, surround yourself with friends. You then get a Silverhawk story. I know nothing about Silverhawks, so I was a bit struggling with that, to be honest. But basically the Silverhawks are fighting some bad guys and one of them gets injured. And then you get this time jump to the future where some of the characters from Thundercats Lost are now wearing Silverhawk armor in the future, and it's like an authoritarian time span. Yeah, if you're into the book, fair enough. For me, this didn't do a great deal for us. Not encouraged us to read the miniseries, I have to say. But if you like the current run of Thundercats, I'm sure you'll get more from this than I got from it. With that, Jesus God, this is a really depressing episode. I'm just realizing that. We've then got this, the Sentry issue #1. Anybody in the chat read this? Please tell us if anybody in the chat has read this issue, because I'm totally stuck with what the hell and where the hell this is set. So the last time, so first off, if you're not familiar with the character of the Sentry, yes, he was in the Thunderbolts, but a very different version of the character. But basically, this guy's got a split personality kind of thing where the Void comes out and kills people and stuff. But he's got, in superhero form, he's got power of a million exploding suns or something. He's had a number of relaunches, a number of mini-series, all of which seem to contradict the other ones and get more and more confusing. He died at the hands of Null a little while ago, and all of his powers was split and went to 5 different people, and we had Team Sentry or Sentry Project, I can't remember what it's called, a mini-series a couple of years back, where basically all of these kids had different versions of his powers, and that ended with one of those characters getting all of the Sentry abilities and powers. At that point, my understanding was the Sentry was still dead. So I picked this up expecting to get some kind of background or what's going on. And I didn't bother, doesn't explain that. It's just he's just there, and he's with the Avengers, and he's in Avengers, like in a version of Avengers Tower. Yeah, I don't know. So I haven't got a clue when this is set. I'm presuming it must be set now, because it says at the very start this takes place before Infernal Hulk. So I don't know how he's been brought back to life. I don't know if it's the same character. I mean, they call him the same character and all the rest of it. The book does what every other book of the Sentry has done before. Tells you about him being really powerful. Then he's got this Void character wandering around. The Void character has this interaction with a very strange version of Kingpin, which is like a street. I don't know. Maybe I've missed the whole Kingpin bit as well. But he's like in the back alleys as a mob enforcer kind of thing. It's like, really? I thought he was the mayor of New York at one point. Anyway, long story short, just as confusing as every other Sentry story I've ever read. Still no idea what the hell's going on, and I'm done with it. I cannot be chewed. I think they've screwed this character up so much that you cannot get a cohesive tale out of him anymore. And people are trying. I mean, Jenkins is a good writer. I just got nowhere with it. Didn't know what was happening. And by the end, I didn't care, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah, not interested in that one, I'm afraid. Let's see what the chat is saying before we move on. Ironically, if Pete literally shits on things that go up in value, it's like gold dust, my poo. Wayne buys them all. Pick this up, Andrew Tate book. The phone one. Yeah, it is. Thought this was like 50 other teenage horror books you've read. Oh, you not enjoy that one, Fuzzy? I quite like that, mind. I quite like Dead Teenagers. I thought it was good fun. Thought it was good. Like you're right. Up until the last couple of pages, nothing new. The last page twist kind of got it for me, I think. But yeah, if you say this is better than Batwoman, I'm off. However, it was better than Batwoman. Batwoman was cack. Not willing to give up any Marvel number ones a go until they reset everything. Sounds like dung. It was, Phil. Did nothing for us. The problem with Sentry is he sounds interesting. He's allegedly one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, but that means naff all when he's a D-list character. Nobody cares. Well, that part of the thing, but Fuzzy, everybody cared in this book, which is the bit I didn't understand. So, and what I mean by that is my understanding going in was Sentry was dead. And if he's been brought back to life, everybody knows about his split personality because they've had the Void thing played out in every crossover event for the last 10 years or whatever. And yet in this book, when it all hits the fan, you get individual panels of like Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, all literally scream, Mr. Fantastic, all screaming, Sentry, where are you? We need you, Sentry. You're the only man that can save her, blah, blah, blah. Like he is he's like Superman, you know? And it's like, well, when did that happen? I didn't understand. I was hoping for the same. Absolutely no backstory to fill you in. Weird choice. Yeah, I completely agree, pal. Completely agree. Yeah, the new Daredevil looks cool. Looking forward to that one. Of course, Sentry looks like a Golden Trump. Yeah. Looking forward to Daredevil, to be fair. That's an exception. The last DD run was trash. So did you get... Phil, I know you contacted us to say you are looking for some blind bags. Did you manage to get some, bud? I mean, the public... The 3-issue did Cold Day in Hell. It was good, though. That's... Yeah, it was. The Daredevil was. Plus, the name Sentry is dumb. Can't disagree with that. Yeah, DD Cold Day in Hell. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Very much like Avengers Twilight, set in the future, wasn't it? I enjoyed that one. Artwork was great in that as well. Okay, now we're talking. Super Creepshow issue number 1. This is a kind of a follow-on. They did a one-shot of this a little while ago, and it sold really well, so they've decided to make it an ongoing. This is the Creepshow comics, which you'll probably be aware of, are anthology-style tales. These are all set in kind of a superhero narrative. So this book's got 2 stories. The first one, as you might guess, is about a guy getting bit by a spider, so it's like a Spider-Man story. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Very brutal, very gory. A twist at the end, but really not a twist, because you kind of, I'm not going to spoil it, but it does have a bit of a twist at the end, which made sense. Really enjoyed that little story. Just long enough to get me interested and to keep us engaged in the little book. And then the second story is all about a super speeder. So a guy who gets a magical ring with a flash emblem on it and is suddenly given super speed, and he's a lovely man and he wants to fight for justice and blah, blah, blah. And then very quickly realizes that that with the super speed, he can punish anybody who's ever been nasty to him, all the bullies in his life and things like that. And things go a little bit tits up. Again, cracking little read. Recommend this book. Really enjoyed it. Particularly if you like your horror stuff, it is well worth checking out. Yeah, Baby Garfield, isn't it? So, Baby Garfield by Boom Studios, issue 1 of 4. Now, I'm a big fan of Garfield. When I used to go on holiday with my parents when I was a wee kid, Garfield was your holiday book. So you used to get those kind of landscape, thick graphic novel-y things with just pages and pages of Garfield stories. And I kind of fell in love with the little ginger furball. I always read them like I'm reading Bill Murray's voice. I enjoyed the first movie. I haven't seen the latest ones. But yeah, I spotted this and I thought, you know what harm can it do? And in this book, you've got 2 little tales of baby Garfield, where he's just kind of learning to talk in the first tale and then going to the cinema for the first time in the second tale. It's very Garfield in terms of the humor. It reminded us an awful lot of those books from my holidays. The artwork is very kiddie-ish. The jokes are funny. I absolutely loved this. I can't believe I'm saying that. This is probably my favorite read of the week. I just had fun with it. I just sat down and drank a cup of coffee and just giggled through it. The visual gags were great. Like on that panel there, I thought were really good when he's trying to get John's attention to get some lasagna. I just loved it. It's very simple, very silly, a good, honest, heartfelt read. So yeah, never thought I'd be recommending a Baby Garfield book to you guys. But if you just want something quick and easy to read, that's the book. Good fun. Okie dokie. Let's see what the chaps are saying. Read right off. Have you read it, Phil? Have you read it? If you haven't read it, then how can you have I challenge thee. I throw down the gauntlet to read Baby Garfield and tell us it's not a fun read. Okay, right, guys. Toy time. Quick look at some toys that I've brought up to show you some different bits and bobs. Oh dear. So just a couple of things to show off. I think I've shown this before, but this is my my Cyclops movie prop from X-Men 2. This is old Scott Summers' visor. It can fit on my head, but I've got a big fat head. Oh, so I'm always frightened I'm going to smash it. Look at that. Optic blast. There you go. So yeah, I don't know why I just like these kind of props. These are pretty cool. And it's got the kind of the dinosaur. It comes with a metal case that you can display it in, but obviously it's his ruby quartz visor. So yeah, quite a nice little thing to have. This is nice. A friend of mine gave us this a couple of years back. I don't have a lot of carded figures, but he passed us this one on. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Playmates. This is a Michelangelo figure. Haven't got a clue who the duck with the wings on in the hat is at the top, but you've got Usagi Yojimbo at the top there. Yeah, just a really nice carded figure. Like I say, don't really collect a lot of these. Ace Duck, that thing's called. Not a bloody clue. Not a bloody clue. So yeah, I don't know anything about this figure. I don't know what kind of line this is from in terms of the dates and stuff on it. It has got a Toys R Us sticker on the side. £3.78 for this action figure. Christ, remember when you get toys for £3. So yeah, rather nice. But yeah, and then I've got a bit of Star Trek to show off. A little bit of Star Trek to show off. We've got the Star Trek stamp collection. Now, I don't collect stamps before you start kind of shouting at us. I don't collect stamps normally, but my mother-in-law, I think, got us this. This is commemorating 30 years of Star Trek. So how many years are we at with Star Trek now? This must be a canny age in itself. This is Classic Science Fiction Edition, a sheet of genuine postage stamps from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, celebrating 30 years of this classic sci-fi series. How many years has Star Trek been going now? Is Andrew still on the chat? Must be longer than, I mean, don't know how long I've got this. 60, so this is 30 years old, Terry's saying. Pretty cool. Look at Jimbo on there, man. Look at Jimbo. Hopefully going to meet him in a bit. Yeah. It's quite a nice little set there. Like I say, I don't normally collect stamps and all that kind of stuff, but I do like this little set that my mother-in-law got us. So yeah, rather nice. Right, let's show off some books. We're going to start off because we've just been talking about it. We're going to start off with this. This is The Sentry, Marvel's first appearance by Jenkins and J. Lee. Sentry issue number 1. We've already kind of talked about the character. Yeah, just not a character I've particularly ever warmed to. Don't know. Not a character I've ever warmed to. But yeah, first appearance of the Sentry. Speaking of first appearances, this is a nice one. This is the Amazing Spider-Man. This is a variant edition, issue number 14, introduction of Hallows' Eve. I think this is probably one of the best characters to come out of Spider-Man, the Spider Universe, in recent years. If you're not familiar with Hallows' Eve, she's basically got a bag of masks, of Halloween masks. And when she puts the Halloween masks on, she becomes that character, gets the powers of whatever mask she's wearing. So if she sticks a werewolf mask on, she becomes a werewolf. Really, really cool character. Brilliant costume design, I think, for this one. Yeah, really like Hallows' Eve. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. We then got this. This is our first appearance, really, of Peggy Carter as Captain America from a series called The Exiles from back in the day. Loved The Exiles. This was a great little series of events, a bit like What If kind of thing, but basically you've got Blink and a whole host of other characters, and they jump around different realities, different versions of realities, and you got some amazing stories. There's a brilliant run of, I think it's 5 issues or so, where they go to a world where Hyperion is taken over. That's a fantastic little storyline. You got some great stories in The Exiles. Well worth checking out. If you've not read any of this run, recommend checking it out. This one's a key because it has got technically the first appearance of good old Peggy as Captain Carter there, although not an in-continuity version of Peggy Carter. This book I wanted to ask you about, because I ain't got a freaking clue. Nottingham. I think I got this a while ago, paid £9 for it. I think I got a few copies because it was one of those hot books for a while. Everybody was talking about how amazing it was and all the rest of it. But I never read it. Is it still a thing? Is anybody still reading this? Nottingham? Not a clue. Never read it. And then finally, we've got Berserker. Good old bit of Keanu. Still constant talk of this being a movie or an animated series or something along those lines. I've read a few issues of this and it's all right. Nothing to write home about. Nothing to get particularly excited about, to be perfectly honest. But again, I think there's a lot of people's long boxes filled with this because everybody thought it was going to be worth millions because Keanu was involved. And it's not. It's cack. Right, let's see what the chat are saying. Where do we get to? Favorite read right off. The special effects for Cyclops is like watching She-Hulk all over again. How dare you? How dare you? I'm an actor, you know. That was top tier thespianism. Looked more like the Wow, Jack. Wow. Looked more like the mutant leader from Dark Knight Returns than Cyclops. Now that you've said that, I can't unsee it, Jack. Thank you very much. Star Trek 60. Thank you, Terry. That's nice. I'm off to the 60-year Star Trek launch party at the Science Museum in London on Thursday. Very cool. That'll be good. That'll be good, Wayne. You'll have to take lots of photos of that. I'm sure you'll do a video on it, pal. Baby Garfield stamps. Come on, show us our Hot Wheels to top it off. I haven't got any Hot Wheels, Fuzzy. I've got no Hot Wheels, I'm afraid, pal. Got to cater for everybody's tastes, Fuzzy. Does that count as a Hot Wheel? Does that count? No? Never mind. Don't Fuzzy will start showing off his superhero boxes. Pound book now for that. Was that Nottingham? I don't even know what it's about, Fuzzy. I'm presuming it's something about the Sheriff of Nottingham, that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Right, guys, I wanted to just end off by talking a little bit about autographs, because I don't think I've ever really showed you my autographs. You'll know this one. This is a one that I got a little while ago, and people like to remind us that I made a massive balls up with it. This was sold as a genuine Christopher Reeve signature. Turned out it was fake, the bastards. So this is a fake Christopher Reeve signature, the swines. But it came with a certificate of authenticity and everything. And it kind of led us to thinking that before I got back into comics, in my second phase of collecting, I guess I would say, before I got really back into comic books in terms of particularly CGCs and things like that, I had a little flirt with collecting superhero related or movie related signatures, majority of which I bought from eBay, all of which came with certificates of authenticity, which were probably printed on some bloke's dot matrix printer, and he had his grand sign. So I've got no idea really if these are genuine signatures. I've had them in a file for around about 15, 20 years or something like that, but I suspect the vast majority of them are bollocks. So this first one is from, remember Athena? That's where we first started getting comic books. When I got back into it, Athena, I don't think it exists anymore, but this is an Athena card, and it is a signed Michael Keaton Batman image. Now, it's a great image of Batman. Michael Keaton signature. Now, I have got in my collection a graded Michael Keaton signature. And yes, this was probably done a long time ago. And yes, signatures change. But I can tell you for now, that looks nout like the Michael Keaton signature that I've got on my verified book. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a fake, I guess. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm calling bullshit. We've got this. Now, I tend to think this might be real, but I cannot read a word it says. But it does say it's from Martin Sheen. So this is from Spawn 97. It's a signed photo. Cannot read his handwriting, but he's written his name on there, obviously, in the date, and he's also wrote the name of the character he plays. I kind of think this one might be real. Now, there is a service you can get from some of the authentication, the well-known authentication guys, where you can send them a picture of the signature and they will try and authenticate it. So I might do that with this one. That's quite nice. Big fan of him, particularly from the West Wing. Now. Fuzzy, get your fingers on the typewriter ready. To tell us what this guy is. Loved him when I got it. What a twat. What a swine, eh? Dean Cain, massive trumper. Beat you to it. Massive trumper. Joined bloody ice and all kinds of stuff, didn't he, the dick? So, yeah, but this is Lewis and Clark, Dean Cain signed picture. I don't even care if this one's real because I can't stand him. Bit of Linda Carter. Love Linda Carter. Again, I've got a signed Linda Carter verified signature in my collection. So I might go down. I haven't had a look actually to see if this one looks the same, but I love that image. Of Linda. So yeah, don't know if that one's true or not. That's quite a nice one. There's two there, sorry. Bit of Tom Welling. Loved Smallville back in the day. Absolutely loved Smallville back in the day. One of my favorite shows. He's going to be at Edinburgh Comic Con back end of the year, and so is Shatner apparently. So if Shatner doesn't make it to the Comic Con I'm going to in May, I might end up going to Scotland to get his signature and see Tom as well. Now I know these ones are genuine because I saw them at a con. So a whole host of the characters from Battlestar Galactica. Now, not Battlestar Galactica, sorry. What do you call it? Babylon 5. Now the problem is, I got this 35 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. How old am I? Yeah, maybe he's 30 years ago. Can't for the life of us remember who signed it. I've got a feeling it was the bloke that played Jakar, but I cannot remember, and I cannot read any of the names. But yeah, yep, great series. That if you're into your sci-fi, highly recommend Babylon 5. It's a brilliant, brilliant series, particularly as things start picking up. Some bloke from Angel, can't remember. That's definitely bollocks. Wesley Snipes. I don't believe that's Wesley Snipes' signature. Not a clue. Batman, original Batman, and Robin. Hugh Jackman. Like I say, I've got no idea if any of these are genuine or not. They all came, and I've got all the certificates somewhere, but it's all literally just, little bits of paper that have been printed out on someone's printer. Sometimes, if you're lucky, they've got an embossed kind of logo on them. James Marsden. Now, going to end on a good one because I know it's a true one because I got it myself at, I want to say Birmingham, the place where Ian Carter works. The place where Ian Carter works. Where's that again, Ian? Is that Birmingham NMC or something? Again, maybe 30 years ago, me and my uncle went to a toy and comic con there, and one of the greatest Batman actors around was there, Kevin Conroy, and he did this for us. So this is a print he had at his table, and it's signed. You can't really see very well there. To Peter, Kevin Conroy, Batman. And he just did, these were all just on his table, free of charge, and he just signed them for you. No charge, nout. Absolutely free of charge. Absolutely love this piece. Absolutely love it. Kevin Conroy, an absolute gem. He was a lovely, lovely man to talk to. When I got this, I think Batman Beyond had literally just kind of started. It was just kind of happening. I knew him obviously from Batman, the first cartoon series and things like that. So yeah, absolutely stunning. So pleased to have this one in my collection. Yeah, big loss is that gentleman. Big loss, Kevin Conroy. So yeah, there you go. What do you think? Majority of them are a load of shite, I think. I think they're all a load of cack. So I might send a few of them. I've got a Jack Nicholson one somewhere, which I'm sure is shite as well. But to get them authenticated online, I think it only costs you $5. So I might just send a few of these off and see what happens, roll the dice, see what happens. And if they come back as being a load of old tosh, I'll just bin them. But we'll see. We'll see. There we go. Let's see. Keaton's looking up at the signature and saying, that's not mine. Sorrel, nice to see you, pal. Athena's a blast from the past. Yeah, I used to love it. The one in the Metro Centre used to sell comic books and Warhammer Games Workshop type stuff, and then all the kind of the weird posters and stuff that Athena used to do. I don't know, Fuzzy, is it still a thing? Anybody knows? Athena still a shop? I haven't seen one for years. Sorry, you've not missed much. Only 1 hour of Peter showing all his fake gear. How dare you? How dare you? Jed Bartlett. That's the fella. I love it. Still love a bit of Jed. I wish the West Wing would come back. But no, I don't, because the caster moved on. Massive Trumpist. He is. Boils my piss, Fuzzy. Boils my piss. Where's the Trump auto pen? Trump doesn't use an auto pen. That's just Joe Biden, apparently, isn't it? I reckon a spitball fight with Dean Cain pick. Yeah. Linda, the best Wonder Woman. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Ian. Great lady. That Hugh Jackman doesn't look like his. Luke, I think none of these are genuine, pal. I really don't. I think I was just young and naive. Do you know what I mean? I can't use that excuse for some of the recent crap I bought. Hugh Jackman. Yeah, I guess who it did, Fuzzy. NECA, yeah, the NEC. Thank you. Fuzzy, did you see that about John Carpenter graphic novel Cathedral coming? No, pal, I'll have a look. Looks good, dude. Peter sent the info. Peter, oh, I can't even speak, man. Looks good. Sent info for Peter for Tuesday's show to talk about here. When we're talking toys, I forgot I brought this up to show you as well. I know some of you will have seen it. But when we're talking action figures, just to show off this bad boy, this is the Hot Toys Venom. I'm showing you this. Ooh, itchy nose. I'm showing you this because last night I was bored and I happened to watch Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. What a load of shit. I was watching it hoping that I would be happier with it than I was when I saw it at the cinema. Nah, crap. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Venom hot toy. It's absolutely massive. It's beautiful in terms of the texture of the costume. It's got like a squashy costume. You get, as you usually do with these figures, a whole host of hands. You get a load of different head sculpts. I prefer this one, which is one of my favorites. But you also get a load of different tongues. You can get about 4 different tongues, and they are magnetic. So you can swap out the tongues and put them in different places and all that kind of stuff. It's an absolute beaut of a figure. One of my favorites in my collection. Yeah, just an absolute stunner. This is irritating, but this is irritating. So you can get the tendrils with them. So you can attach them to them. The tendrils come out. But on the back, if you look closely, you can see the port points. So these sections here pop out. I think it spoils the look of them. Saying that, like, I've always got them facing that direction, so you probably wouldn't be able to tell. But still, it irritates us. It does irritate us. But yeah, that's Venom from Hot Toys. Okie dokie. Hashtag content. Few things for you to mention. For us to mention, sorry. Just to say, we've got memberships still live on the channel. Please do check those out. Thank you to everybody that is currently a member. I really do appreciate your support. It means a great deal. This video is out at the moment. Mars Attacks. Please go and give it a bit of love. I would really appreciate that. And on Tuesday, we've got panel breakers. So looking forward to chatting with you about some of the recent comic book news and reviews. And I've also going to show on that show a demonstration of the website that Andy's been working on. So Andy's pulled together a phenomenal little website for us. So massive thank you to Andy for that, which is exciting because it promotes the channel, which is great. But the thing I'm most excited about is it's got a section on it which is very heavily linked to the Global Geek Guide. So this idea I had a little while ago about pulling together a guide for all vintage comic shops, toy shops, and all that kind of stuff. Andy and myself have been populating that with all of the things that people sent in on that original video. And it's already looking amazing. It's extremely easy to use. People can go on there to search the local areas, look for comic shops, toy shops, all the rest of it. And you can input and add places to it very easily. So looking forward to showing you that on Tuesday. For now, though, that's your whack. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. Just quickly jump through the comments before we go so I haven't missed anybody. That Venom is huge. It is. It's a beaut. Stephen, a bit late at the party, so we'll go back and watch from Scott. Cheers, pal. Really appreciate that. The Silver Surfer is a tempting one that'll fly to stock. Yeah, I'm on the fence about it, Jack. I probably will end up getting it. I will probably end up getting it. Rip to Sam Keith. Yeah, I've got a slide for Tuesday about it for the awful news. Bit of a rough weekend for people passing away, unfortunately. We also had the chap from Buffy die as well, which is very sad. So yeah. Okay, but thank you very much to everybody who's jumped in tonight. Really do appreciate it. Love spending a little bit of time with you in this show. Thank you so much, and we shall see you on Tuesday night. Back to you, whack. Bye.
The curtains close. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun and hit like and subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from Triple G and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your whack.